Cambodia is home to some of Southeast Asia's most extraordinary natural landscapes. For one, the Tunnel Sap, the largest freshwater lake in the region, sustains millions through its rich fisheries. The Cambodian stretch of the Mekong River is globally significant for its freshwater biodiversity, and Prey Lang stands as one of Southeast Asia's largest lowland evergreen forests. These environments are central to livelihoods, food security, and cultural identity. But these landscapes are under threat of destruction. Across Cambodia, communities are experiencing intensifying climate change impacts that compound existing environmental pressures. Irregular rainfall, prolonged droughts, and flooding disrupt agricultural cycles and threaten food production. These changes are further worsened by deforestation and environmental degradation, creating a cycle of vulnerability that deepens with each passing year. In response to these growing pressures, environmental human rights defenders work to protect land, forests, and communities. They advocate for environmental protection and the rights of people whose lives depend on natural resources. While Cambodia's constitution recognizes the responsibility of the state to protect the environment, specific protection mechanisms for environmental defenders remain limited. For instance, the 2015 Law on Associations and NGOs Lango has been used to deregister organizations, and the Criminal Code's incitement provisions have been used against activists. These patterns of attacks are closely linked to broader structural factors. Development projects, including land concessions, mining operations, hydropower dams, and REDD+ carbon offset projects, often overlap with community lands and natural resources. In this context, land concessions and extractive activities have been reported to contribute to conflicts between communities and development actors. Weak governance, corruption, and limited enforcement of environmental protections further intensify these challenges. Defenders in Cambodia face various forms of attacks, including judicial harassment, arrests, intimidation, and even death. In 2012, prominent environmental investigator Chutwadi was shot dead by military police while documenting illegal logging in Kokong province. From then to 2025, 11 environmental defenders have been killed, including journalists and activists. More recently, in 2024, 10 members of Mother Nature Cambodia were sentenced to 6 to 8 years in prison for exposing sewage flowing into the Tunnel Sap River, illegal sand mining in coastal sanctuaries, and the filling of Phnom Penh's lakes. Their investigations implicated powerful business figures, including 2 ruling party senators and companies linked to the Prime Minister's family. These cases show how both extrajudicial violence and legal prosecution are used to silence defenders. These attacks often target vulnerable groups, especially indigenous communities. In Phnom Penh, 26 members of the Samrong Tbong community face eviction and legal charges for protecting their homes near Boang Tamak Lake, land they have lived on for decades. Despite these challenges, EHRDs continue to organize and act. Communities build networks, document environmental impacts, and engage in advocacy efforts to protect their land and resources. Additionally, defenders work together with civil society organizations such as Cambodian League for the Promotion and Defense of Human Rights, LACADO, the Cambodian Center for Human Rights, CCHR, and the Cambodian Human Rights and Development Association ad hoc to raise awareness, strengthen advocacy, and support affected communities. The research highlights key recommendations such as establishing formal legal recognition and protection for defenders, adopting anti-SLAPP legislation, and protecting the rights to freedom of expression and peaceful assembly for the defenders of Cambodia. It is also essential to support community land rights, improve access to grievance mechanisms, integrate mental health and psychosocial support for defenders, and ensure that affected communities can participate meaningfully in decisions that impact their environment and livelihoods. Protecting environmental human rights defenders is essential to addressing the climate crisis. Without their work, communities face greater risks and fewer protections. From Chutwadi to Mother Nature Cambodia, the patterns show that those who defend the forest become targets. Strengthening their safety is key to enabling climate action. This video is based on APN's research Enabling Climate Action. a participatory action research on attacks against environmental defenders and recommendations for their recognition and protection. Learn more. Connect. Support environmental defenders. Follow the Asia-Pacific Network of Environmental Defenders.